Okay, now it's time for a quick show through the tools that we're going to be using in our lessons. Okay, so the first one is going to be NPM. It's like a package manager that it's for JavaScript. It's very popular in the Node community. We're going to be averaging this a lot because all the packages that we're going to be using on our project will be coming from NPM. The next one is just like another package on NPM. It's called Webpack. It's a module bundle. It's got some nice features. Actually, you could be using any other that you know. For example, Browserify or Rollup. It will be totally fine. But I'm going with this one because it's got some nice features. And through the course you see that I will be using some of nice features of this, and maybe it might change your mind somehow. Okay, the next one is going to be TypeScript. TypeScript is pretty much the main language that we will write our code. It's just like JavaScript. It's actually any JavaScript is a valid TypeScript. So it's good if you already know a little of JavaScript, but if you don't know, you just pay attention in the code and you get it. It's very easy to learn. And as this course is not really focusing on how to write TypeScript, I will be like writing very simple TypeScript, not using like the very fancy stuff that it offers. Okay. And actually TypeScript has got some nice plugins for a lot of IDEs. So we will need a way to compile our TypeScript. So there is a way here that we can globally install it through NPM and compile it, all our modules or files. But we're gonna be using some plugins on the IDE to make our life easier. Okay, the next tool is going to be this Typings. Typings is pretty much a declaration tool for JavaScript libraries hosted on NPM, pretty much. It's just give us some typing hint on libraries that we might be downloading from the NPM. So it's a nice addition to our code to keep it easier to write and to maintain. The next tool here we're going to be using is Gulp. Gulp is like a process automator. It will automate the process of compiling our files. So for example, if you are using, I don't know, TypeScript, and you want to compile it, every time you would need to run a command, compile my files, Gulp will do this for you automatically on file change based. So if you change some line, it will automatically trigger some comments that you define, and it will like compile it or do whatever you say it to do. So it's very convenient, and we're going to be using this one. Of course, there are others in the market like Grunt, and you could be using any you wanna. It's not this course again is not focusing on these tools exactly, but I'm going to use those. So I'm going to show you the easier way to go through and get your stuff done with less work. Another tool that we're going to be using is the Node.js. I'm not going to do a tutorial about Node.js. It's gonna be just a very basic stuff. It's for serving our file. Because when you build like a THREE.js application, sometimes you might need external files, like do some AJAX requests to some servers or to your own server. And for some browser policies, it's not allowed for you to do it from your local host. So you actually need to be running on a server in order to do this call. So we will pretty much need a server. You actually could be using any you like I don't know, build a server in PHP or Python, or I don't know, or just use Node.js. I choose Node.js because it's very simple, and I will write, and you see that I will write the server in just like 4 lines of code, and we get what we need done. So these are the tools that we're gonna be using. Optionally, for TypeScript, if you don't have an IDE that can compile your files for you, you could be plugging in this TypeScript loader for Webpack. You can go to this GitHub repository and find out how to use this one. This is just an additionally and very optional. If you don't have a TypeScript installed on your machine, or you don't have a IDE that supports it, you can just automate it with TypeScript. It's a little less performant, but it still will work. So if you wanna, you can have a look at this library and just add it to the project if you feel the need. Okay, so let's go to the next lesson.